Hey, it's me guys, Minneapolis Jones here, just playing some Magic Duels in an attempt to show you guys what one of my favorite games is of all time. This is created by Wizards of the Coast for their fantastically popular trading card game, Magic the Gathering. Now, as you can see here, this is the menu. I've already been playing for a really long time, so I have a lot of store points. I mean, not a lot, but I buy a pack of cards, which costs $150 just about every day, since this game launched, so I have quite the collection. So, let's get to looking at the deck we're going to use today against our opponents. Card collection? It'll load for a second. These are just the cards I own. We can go to My Decks, and this is the deck we'll be running. I'm going to edit it so we can look at it. As you can see, it is a white, green, and red deck. Its main theme is to get as many lands into the battlefield as possible and to destroy their lands using Moonvuli Acid Moss and ramping ourselves while destroying them, and then getting 2/2s with this card or 5/5s with this card. And if that doesn't work, we got some big old threats that we can put in at the end in Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger, and Breaker of Armies. So, let's see how this plays out. We're going to go ahead and play against a real person. Actually, let's not do that first. I just want to show you guys how the deck works. So, for this introductory video, we're just going to be playing against a computer. Mainly because the problem with this game's online interface is that it takes a really long time to connect and to load, just in general, this game for some reason, and it's not as fast as I like it to be. So it looks like we're going to be pairing up against a Planeswalker based solely on our background. I guess she's playing black, but you know, this is a nice way in this game that you can just fake out opponents is by giving your character a different background than what they would actually have in their deck. Alright, so it looks like our opponent plays first. We have got there's not much action till turn 3 because we can't cast Kytheon Hero of Athros on turn 1 or at all with what we got in our hand, but we have enough lands in order to get Moonvuli Acid Moss going. So the question is, do I keep this? I'm going to say I don't really want to keep it because there's an enchantment sub-theme within our deck which needs us to have the, I believe it's the Empty Throne. I forget what it is, but every time you play enchantment you get a 4/4. So I'm just going to throw this back and get another one. Is this any better? Yeah, it's the Sigil of the Empty Throne. The opponent plays first. I have 2 sources of mana, no card draw. I think we draw on our hand. This is not much better. It, in fact, got the same problem that we did have, but, you know, we're on the draw, so I think we can keep it. Now, why did I throw away the first hand? I threw away the first hand because we didn't have anything to do on turn 3. And if this guy was aggressive, well, then we'd be completely screwed. I just played a land on turn 1 and passed. But back to why I threw it back. Well, this deck has a lot of, not a lot of low drops, quite a few 2 and 3 drops, which we could play. We have, and this is Retreat, I believe is what it's called, and it gets us 2 lands. And if we have Spell Mastery, which is if we have 2 sorcery or instant cards in the graveyard, we can get 3 lands. So I was kind of banking on getting either that card or an Elvish Visionary. If I had gotten either one of those, I would have kept a hand instantly, but we can't go too far down past 6. Now, I think we're just going to straight up lose this game, based solely on the fact that our opponent has played a Core Blade Whirl, which is a 2/2 that when an ally enters the battlefield, gives all other creatures plus, I mean, not plus plus, it gives them first strike. But a godsend. We got a Canopy Vista, which gives us both white and green, which allows us to play Retreat to Kazandu, which, if we get another land, we can gain 2 life and play Moonvuli Acid Moss. Now, the reason that's important is because this not only destroys one of his lands, which is probably going to be at this point the Prairie Stream, but it also gives us a land, ramping us and making us able to play Zendarkar's Royal. Let's see what he does. He's got a Razor Foot Griffin, which is quite dangerous because it has First Strike all the time. And regardless of what people say, First Strike is an amazing ability. So we did get there. We got a Forest, I gained 2 life, thereby negating his last turn. And then I play this, killing his Prairie Stream, thereby negating his double white and also a source of blue. Now, what should I get? I have access to white. I don't have access to red, and I want to get that Sigil of the Empty Throne out, so I'm going to grab a Canopy Vista and then gain 2 life. So I've therefore just negated his past 2 turns. Now, the Sigil of the Empty Throne says, whenever you cast an enchantment spell, put a 4/4 angel creature token on the battlefield. Now, the reason I'm going to play that before I play my Zendikar's Royal is, first off, we don't have a land in hand, right? So if I was going to play Zendikar's Royal, I would like to have a land in hand, right? That way I can instantly get a 2/2. But this is better because this means that we get that. Now, I did draw a land, but I still believe Sigil of the Empty Throne is the better play. We play it, and then we just wait. We take 4 damage, which is fine, because next turn we're going to get 2 of it back, and a 2/2, and a 4/4. And I think that's an explosive enough turn, because he's stuck on mana now. Well, as I say that, I think that's an explosive enough turn to where we should be able to pull ourselves back out of this. Or at least I believe. And this is only against computers. Against real people, it might be completely different. So I'm going down to 12, which is fine. I'll be up at 14 next turn. I am then going to play Zendikar's Royal, which he cannot counter. Well, he can counter it if he has Dispersion, but I've already got the Angel. And now I get 2 life and a 2/2. So he can no longer attack me. Alright, we'll just pass the turn because it knows we can't do anything, and we'll just wait. So we're pretty good off right now. We're getting 4 life a turn, we got a 4 life a turn, we got 2 life a turn, we're summoning an angel, and he just returned our angel, which kills it, which is fine. Because next turn I'm just going to play another enchantment, which is going to be From Beyond, which gives us a 1/1 Scion every turn, which is a colorless creature that has 1 attack and 1 toughness, and can be sacrificed for 1 mana. Now here we have a tricky decision. I would almost like to play the Muvali Acid Moss while his shields are down, but From Beyond is probably better because he can't do anything about it. He's only got 2 mana, there's no counter spells in this format that are worth 2 mana, and it gets us a 1/1 every turn. So we're just going to wait it out. We shouldn't be attacking, because if we attack, well, I suppose I could have attacked there. We could have traded, and that would have been a whole card for me. So, mistakes on my part. So now I can't do much of anything, because he's got 4 spells. I think, though, the right play is probably just to play Retreat to Kazandu. Because if he counters this, I'm pretty okay with it, because we've already got 1 on the battlefield. So not only do we get a 4/4, now I completely forgot about the Scion, which means I'm probably just going to play it, destroying one of his blue sources, and getting me a red source. So it comes in the battlefield tapped, I gain 4 life, excuse me, and I gain a 2/2. And then I'm just going to attack in the air with 4. So this match is really turned around. The power of land destruction, especially early land destruction, is not to be trifled with. So he's going to use a Gideon's Reproach, which deals 4 damage to a creature that I control that's either attacking or defending. Which kills it, obviously, but I've already gotten 2 cards for 1 out of Sigil of the Empty Throne. So it's paid for itself 2-fold at least. So he's going to play the blue card that comes in tapped. It's called Skyline Cascade. That taps my creature. Well, that doesn't tap it. It prevents it from untapping, which is a large difference. So here comes a forest. I'm going to play the forest. I'm going to put a +1 counter on both of my creatures that are untapped. Because we're at 16, we are a good amount of life. If he plays anything next turn, I have no fear of dying. And I'm going to attack, because if he if he has anything that he's going to use, I'd like him to use it first. Like another Gideon's Reproach or a bounce spell. Because at this point in time, he could have just a hard counter spell with his 2 blues, with 2 blue and a green. So I'm just not going to play it. I got good board position, and if he does anything, which he just obviously did, he gains 4 life, which isn't great. Sack a land, gain 4 life is what the Blighted Step does. So here I'm back in my turn again. I'm not going to be the first to blink, so I'm just going to keep attacking because my board presence is just much better than his, just all around better. And I don't mind losing a 3/3 for a 2/2 first strike. There we go. Because now I can attack with my 2/2s and my 1/1s, or just my 2/2s, because that survives. But that still gives me a whole lot more attack power, really, because this turn I was holding back 2, 3. Next turn I'll only be holding back 2. Alright, we're getting another Scion. We can play Kytheon, and I would almost rather him counter this spell. As at this point, Kytheon is just not really relevant. And so we go in for the kill with everybody. Swing with the team. He blocks the 2/2 clearly, and I think that's a win, unless he can bounce. Yep. Alright guys, this is just my first video against a computer opponent. There will be many, many more. And I hope you guys have a lot of fun, play a lot of Magic, and have a good day.